Okay, what we've chosen to use with this model is a clear tip. And the reason why we're using a clear tip for her with a micro contact area simply because she has a perfect free edge. So when you're applying a clear tip, you would want to apply a clear tip at a 40, any tip for that matter. You'd want to apply your tip at a 45-degree angle, start off at the side, making sure that your free edge meets the welt of the tip, and you would basically pretty much slide it on. This is actually a large tip for this nail, but I'm just kind of demoing that. So as you can see, this thumb has been applied, pre-applied, and it was applied with a clear tip. So what I'm about to do now is reduce the contact area so that we can have a smooth application of the tip. Go under the nail and just lightly separate it if there's any attachment from the adhesive. And you want to hold the nail up, holding your cutters downward a little bit, and cut the nail to desired length. Be mindful when you're using a clear tip, if you cut the nail straight across, you may have a micro crack down the center of your clear tip. You want to make sure you're holding your cutters at least 45 degrees before you cut your tip. So now what I'm going to do is blend the tip. So I want to blend the tip in a crisscross filing motion. I am going to debulk the tip from the base of the nail to the extension edge of the tip. So allow me, I'm using a 180 grade abrasive just to blend the tip, not filing on the natural nail. I sometimes protect my guest nails by applying my thumb on the nail bed, and basically you want to blend the tip from extension edge into base of nail. Because of the length of the nail, I'm going to use my finger on the underside of the nail to pretty much support the tip, the extension edge, so as I file there is not a lot of movement. So I'm basically taking the nail from the, like I said, the extension edge, going into the base of the nail so this tip application can be as smooth as possible. You want to make sure your application is as thin as possible, because basically with an acrylic nail or a gel nail and you have an extension edge, you want your nails to be as natural as possible. So keep in mind that your tip application is your foundation of your product. Again, you do not want to overfile on the nail bed of your client. You want to make sure you start from extension edge to the base of nail. I constantly use my thumb to clean up the nail so I can see where I need to file. And I am moving my abrasive in circular motions simply because I want it to blend properly. And now I'm going in the direction of nail growth so that it's smoother. Now what I'm going to do is switch my abrasive side to a smoother side so that my application can be very smooth, and as I laid my product, you will not see where the extension edge and the nail bed meets. Well, now what I'm doing is removing the dust off her nails with a nylon brush. You always want to make sure you're using a nylon brush simply because it doesn't have any oils and it doesn't hold any of the dust. and you're able to clean this after each guest versus using a synthetic type brush that most places use. They use from client to client, and what happens, the hair from those brushes holds the dust, holds the oil, and each time the nails are being contaminated. You always want to protect your client, and you always want to prevent cross-contamination of product, cross-contamination of your liquid, because if your liquid is contaminated, you are basically contaminating your application.